Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll off 'em. Off 'em. If he reach, then I'll pop 'em. Street sweeper, I'll wash 'em. Homicide, come and chalk 'em. Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll off 'em. Up 'em.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is our reaction to Andy Ruiz versus Statue Ortiz. G, what was your reaction to the fight?
Well, I'm gonna be real. I actually thought Ortiz won the fight. You know, I scored it 111 to 115 for Ortiz, and here's why. Andy's style, like, to me, I think Andy would do a lot better if he actually studies Canelo. He's a counter fighter, but he's too flat-footed. Like, there's rounds where Andy will just stand there and just let Ortiz just land multiple jabs in a round. And then Andy thinks if I land one hook, he should win that round. It doesn't work like that in boxing, you know? Like, and even round 2, right, when they scored it a 10-7 round, I scored it a 10-8 round because that second knockdown clearly wasn't even caused by that punch, you know? And even the commentators was like, yo, come on, bro, that doesn't count, you know? But the judges still scored it 10-7. So that was the controversy within itself. Every round, like, so I gave Andy that round. And the other round where he knocked down Ortiz, round 7, also 10-8. But from 3 to round 6, I gave all of those Ortiz. Round 1, I gave it to Ortiz. 8 through 10, Ortiz. The 11th round, I did give it to Andy, and that was a 10-9 round. And in the last round, I gave it to Ortiz. You know, like, Andy, to me, if anything, I don't even know if I would respect the draw, but a draw kind of made sense. But for people to front like Andy Ruiz beat Ortiz, you're bugging. And at least one thing I like about Twitter, a lot of people were honest. Like, Andy, you got to do better, this and that. Nobody was impressed by his performance. The guy doesn't throw enough. He doesn't move around enough. You know, like, I think I watched it with Ned was with me when we watched it together. And I'm just like, oh, come on. And I picked, remember, I switched from Ruiz to Ortiz last minute. You know what I mean? Because I was like, yo, Andy's
predictably.
Sloppy. You know what I mean? He looking sloppy. But I was like, yeah, I was actually impressed by Ortiz. And the fact that you injured Ortiz multiple times, why didn't you take him out? This was your opportunity to finish him. Andy couldn't seal the deal. Andy, yo, to me, it's like he's being protected by PBC to set up Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder. I'm dead serious. You know what I mean? Like, because even Wilder was saying, I think before the fight, he was like, he's gonna fight the winner of this fight. And I'm like, ain't nobody want to see no Wilder versus Ortiz 3. Like, oh, is it 3 or 2? Whatever. I mean, 4. Whatever.
Right,
whatever
3.
They go,
3.
Yeah, 3. Nobody want to see that. So clearly they were banking on Ruiz beating Ortiz so they could set up Wilder versus Ruiz. That was the game plan all along. Wilder snitched on the whole agenda, you know, before the fight, you know, during his little interview. And then voila, we're going to have Wilder fight Andy Ruiz next. That's what's going to happen. And the problem with Andy is, like, Andy's hands are fast, you know, they're devastating, but his feet are horrible. So, hey, listen, I understand people might give him credit because they're like, who caused more damage in the fight? Clearly, Ruiz caused more damage. But unfortunately, boxing is scored based upon every round. You know, if it was just a straight up brawl, like a street fight, I would say Andy Ruiz won that because he dropped Ortiz, you know, a few times in the fight. But when you look at them rounds, you break it into rounds, you notice Ortiz is tagging Andy more, doing more damage to Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz ain't even moving. It's like, yo, the dude is just, yo, he's like out of shape in the ring, bro. I don't know what it is. Bro, you should go after your prey. at least with Canelo's style, like Canelo's not the one that just like throws like jabs for no reason and everything. Canelo's also a counter puncher, but he always moves forward and attacks his prey. Andy Ruiz would just stand there and just wait for Ortiz to make a mistake and try to counter. That's a cool strategy if you're fast at countering, but a lot of times he's just standing there waiting for Ortiz to tee off, and he's waiting for Ortiz to go off a combination and wait for that to tag him. And that's how Ortiz got hit a lot of times. So I was like, Ortiz, what the hell are you doing? But when Ortiz decided, hey, I'm going to fight back, there was some good shots that he delivered back on Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz was like, oh, snap, I got to respect this guy's power. So to me, it wasn't – this is be clear. If you were going to make an argument for Ruiz winning, whatever. But he ain't wash him. I know that for a fact. And so this is like probably my third or fourth fight from Andy Ruiz where I was disappointed because I'm like, he does just enough to get lucky. When he fought Joseph Parker, I was disappointed in both gentlemen. Joseph Parker was fighting scary. He was fighting scary. But I honestly thought that one was a draw. Whatever. They gave it to Parker, whatever, you know. But when he fought AJ, I honestly felt he got lucky with that punch. In the rematch, despicable display, you know, like my man was just too flat-footed. It was like he was fighting in quicksand, you know. When he fought Areola, you know, same thing. I'm like, how's Areola getting the best of you, bro? And they still gave him the victory. I felt like they robbed Areola of a victory. At the very least, I could respect the draw in that one. But in this fight, even though he knocked him down twice, it doesn't matter. He got beat. You know what I mean? And like, so it was horrible. And then one last final thing before I go, I like to say, man, what state were they in? Were they in California?
Staples Center.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, them gentlemen did good because that place was packed from the opening fight.
What I tell you, I said everybody that want to see that fight's gonna be there.
Yo, from the opening fight, I've never seen this.
That's why the pay-per-view numbers is gonna be horrible because everybody want to see that.
I honestly think they're gonna do all right. I'm telling you, man. Yo, they had Mexico supporting that Mexico support was on Smash. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen a boxing event where from the starting fight it's packed. Like, usually you see like empty seats. There was no empty seats, bro. It was literally. The Mexican-American crowd showed out for Andy Ruiz, so salute to them, even though I think your man's lost.
All right, Dollar Bill.
I mean, shout out to the old guy, man. He went in there. He did his thing. He went 12 rounds, man. You know, I give him that. I think he lost, though. You know. I think he lost. He got. Look, yeah, I haven't been a fan. I wasn't a fan of the heavyweight division for a while, you know, and then it just sparked and I became a fan again. But like certain fights, I just can't get jiggy with. I mean,
I feel you, bro. Like, not to cut
yeah,
you
go
off,
ahead. No, do you think?
with an era where it was like boring, hugging and more hugging than punching, I'm like, yo, man, this is awful. It's also like the lightweights back in the days when they were just looking to try to win points and throw 1,000 punches and like not really knock each other out. I'm like, yo, I don't like this fight. But it seems like boxing has become better all around. It's like the lightweights now, they ain't trying to throw 1,000 punches. They trying to knock each other out too. And like, so it's a lot better.
Nah, it's definitely no, for real. So seeing this fight to me, it was just like, you know, blah, you know, it was any, no, not real. It was like the old guy in there with the guy trying to, you know, change his body around, you know, getting no, I don't. That's what it was. I mean, what are you gonna say? Like Ortiz, I'm giving props just like you, G. I'm giving props to Ortiz to still be able to go 12 rounds, even though I think he lost at this age, and still be competitive. You know, with the slow punches he was throwing some punches, but they were slow. A lot wasn't, and I think what Andy was doing, he was like, I'm gonna take a little of these pit pat joints to land something massive. You know,
A lot of them though. He took too many.
You know, he had some rounds in there. He had some rounds, but I think it was the knockdowns that sealed it for Andy Ruiz. You know, and I want to see what he does next. You know, well, he only got those 2 losses, correct? So yeah, we'll see what he does. We'll see what he does next. Sure, if we can get in there with Wilder, why not? He's perfect angle for that right hand, right down on him. You know, so that's food they can set up for him. You know, look, man. But yeah, just kudos to both guys, man, to just be able to go in there. And I'm surprised that they both went 12 rounds. You know, that's shout outs to them, you know what I'm saying, for being able to do that.
Ortiz really wanted to win.
And I'll give you that, you know what I'm saying? In that 12th round, I did see like Ortiz seemed like he knew that this was the curtain call. Like everybody was gonna be asking for his resignation. So he said, let me go ahead and give it all I got, you know. And it was a little lackluster for Andy Ruiz in that 12th round, but I think the knockdown saved Andy
Ruiz. TBE.
Yeah, I was
keep it a buck, man. Keep it a buck.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, yo. Now I was rooting for Grandpa to win, yo, and my grandpa surprised me. He got knocked down, he got back up. He got knocked down, he got back up. And you know, that 12th round from Luis Ortiz was like I loved it, yo. That's like what you want to see in the 12th round. Like you go for it. If you losing, you want to go for somebody's head top. And he almost got Ruiz out of there with that belt. He just didn't turn it on in the beginning of the 12th round. He turned it on a little too late. And Ruiz was able to escape it. But Andy Ruiz, as fast as his hands are, his feet are slow as hell, man. Like, yo, this dude is like a tree stump, man. Like, he just can't get to you, yo. It's like you come near the beehive. I called them, what did I call them? I think I called them bee sting or something like that. If you come near a beehive, you're going to get stung, yo. And that's what Andy Ruiz is. And from distance, it's no harm. But if you want to go play in the tree or something like that, he's going to tag you up a bit. And another thing, he caught Ortiz with that same punch he caught AJ right behind the head, yo. He caught Ortiz with a punch. So I don't know if that's a lucky punch. I think that's a punch he just knows how to land, yo. It's like, yo, he's gonna catch you on the back of the head every time you get close to him. And that's the dangerous thing about Ruiz. But after that, besides those knockdowns, Ruiz looked lackluster. He doesn't look impressive to me. I do want to see him against Wilder because that's like the next big fight. We all want to see. Since Ruiz beat AJ, we want to see beat Wilder. But you know, it's a tough matchup for both fighters. But it's gonna if it's anything like this, if Wilder doesn't capitalize after a tree stump, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, but this is this fight. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. This fight. I froze. Sorry about that. This fight was nothing but like, yeah. I just was excited to see Grandpa go off, man.
But that's it. That's Andy Ruiz's thing, though. You know, we covered this on this channel before. Like, that's his best shot is in exchanges. You know, that's his best opportunity right there. So that's his thing. You know, to try to get in, and when somebody is punches, is trying to punch with them and try to get them in exchange. You know what I'm saying? That's what we found out. We documented that on this show before. That's his only chance.
And also, I feel like if Ortiz was maybe 3 years younger, he would have beat Ruiz easy. Like, because Ortiz...
Yo, calm down, Larry Merchant.
Like, yo, this dude, like, he'll do the, you know, like when AJ in the rematch against Ruiz, sticking and moving, Ortiz would try to do the sticking and moving, but you can tell he's getting tired, so he's just like, man, let me just plant my feet a little bit. This dude ain't moving. And then he would get punished for it. And I'm just like, Ortiz, keep moving. Do what AJ did. Like, you could do it Cuban style. He just ain't got it no more, bro. He's old. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really is old tease. You know what I mean?
Ortiz. My man Ortiz right there. Really, but now, where he claimed to be? He claimed to be on the paper 46, 43 or something.
43.
43. Yeah. 40. So you gotta put 10 on that.
Years old, yeah, that's crazy.
That was in order for him to play baseball. He had to do 10 on that.
Yo, man, to be honest with you, Andy Ruiz won that fight. The knockdowns won it for him, man. You can't have 10-7 and 10-8. That's automatically like you got to win every round. And come on, man, you're bugging if you think that Luis Ortiz won every round. There were some rounds I gave to Luis Ortiz, but for the most part, he was in an uphill battle once they called that round 10-7. Now, I know you said you don't think the punch knocked him down. I don't know. It was a huge delay, but he did get off balance once he got hit with that jab. Now, was it the jab that put him down, or was it the extracurricular that got him off balance? I don't know.
Your form, the fucking push your dude down.
But that's what they do. That's what fighters do.
That ain't a knockdown.
To me, the first time I saw it done was Lennox. That's a Lennox special. When Lennox caught you with that right hand, yep, Lennox will push you, or Lennox will put his weight on you and just make you fall. Like, even if you look at Mike Tyson, when he clipped Mike is hurt, and Lennox just puts his weight on him. I'm about to pull that up. And so, I mean, yeah, Mike, he hits Mike. Mike is hurt, and Mike is just stumped in. Lennox is like, let me help you down, my brother. And just puts him on the floor. I mean, nobody was complaining like, oh, it's not a knockdown. Mike was laying on the ground like, oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But I thought Andy Ruiz won the fight. Did he look stellar? At times. I'm going to be honest with you, man. What makes Andy Ruiz so dangerous, bro, is his counter speed is off the charts, bro. Like when he countered Luis Ortiz, I was like, no. Look like someone beat up on an old person for real. Like how fast he counters. Like, yo, Andy Ruiz counter game. Yo, you gotta beat him with a jab, dog.
You know what I'm saying? That's
right hand.
Like, Wilder's gonna be like Andy Ruiz is food for Wilder. I'm not too sure because if Wilder can't take him out with that right in the first round, and Andy gets to the inside, Wilder's done. You know what I'm saying? Like Trill,
Wilder better not throw that little BS hook. I see him practicing.
We better stay out.
He better
one right hand.
That's it. Right 2 punches.
Yeah, right hand.
2 punches. That's all he better throw.
He throw that hook, he's gonna be fooled, son.
He got punched to the fences when he aim at Andy Ruiz, man.
When you fight any heavyweight, I don't care which heavyweight we talking about. Don't hook with Andy Ruiz, dog. Do not hook with Andy Ruiz. I'm telling you. It's like the fastest thing I've seen since Mike Tyson. Yeah. It's like, yo.
Snap.
Oh my God.
I'm dead. Yo, Trill, he is literally the fastest heavyweight, bro.
That's the fastest hand.
Right in the exchanges. That's when he's dangerous. Them hands right in them. That's it. Yo, them little short
Yo, put the combinations away with Andy, bro. That's all I'm saying. Cause that's when Ortiz started to do better. Yeah,
that's what he waits for. It seems like he just waits for that moment. And he looked flat-footed. He looked like one of those. What's the turtle? I'm not the turtles. The frogs, the big old frogs, and then they just leap and they just fall on, right. And he just waits. And once you throw your punches, once you try to go for your he's gonna shoot right in the middle. He'll take whatever he can have to take to try to land that one. And it usually hits, and he knows the spot where it's gonna land. Right in the back of the head.
The Wilder Ruiz fight is an intriguing one to me because he took some strong shots from Luis Ortiz, and he said, afterward that Luis Ortiz has power. And I mean, I think it's evident he has power, right? But is it like Wilder? And I think Wilder's shot is more explosive. I think it's faster. It's like it comes out more like you have less time to react to it. Well, I think like the more you can see a punch come, the more you can react to it and prepare yourself. But like the faster it is and the less reaction time you have, that's when it shocks your body. So I think Wilder throws it where you have less reaction time. And it's like when it lands, it's like your body's just not prepared and you out cold. So can he take that from Wilder? But the other major question is, can Wilder take one of them counter shots
That's what I'm saying.
from him? Because Ruiz counters, I'm telling you, I haven't seen he's immaculate. That's what makes him special. That man counters. I was watching it, like he's unbelievable. Like, and it's crazy because you look at his body and you're like, there's no way he's landed that shot.
He's Ace Marquez with the counter.
Hell, boy.
It's Ace Marquez with the counter.
No, and the thing is weird because he's the shorter guy. So all of these guys that are taller than him, they're giving him the opportunity to for him to knock them out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God.
They feel like they're getting it. They feel like they're getting it. When they get him outside and they get a little comfortable, they say, okay, let me throw a 3 on there.
One thing
let me go first.
So Trill was right. Jabs, Luis Ortiz, there was certain rounds Luis Ortiz was throwing like pity pat jabs. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what why? You know what I mean? And then Andy looked like he was entertaining them. Then Ortiz felt comfortable, try to go with a combination, and he hits him with a hook. Boom! I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. Like, what are you doing? Then Ortiz gets back up. He realized, oh, I'm in a real fight. Then he's gonna start throwing stiffer jabs. I'm like, this dude, man, this makes no sense. I'm just hoping.
There was some shots Ortiz took from Ruiz that like
you gotta stay disciplined in there with Andy Ruiz.
That's what I'm saying. You can't go like
AJ showed you the blueprint on how to beat Andy Ruiz. You know what I'm saying?
It's easy for Ruiz to lull you to sleep because you look at his physique. He doesn't throw everything as fast as he can. And so, like, he's real smart, man. It's like soon as he sees the opening, he strike like a cobra, man. This guy's just, he's unbelievable. Like, I'm telling you, he started when he was a little chubby kid at 7. So he fights that way. It's almost like you're not going to deter Andy Ruiz from beating him up. He's probably been getting beat up his whole life. He figured out the way to win is to hit them hard when they least expect it, and that's what he looks for.
Let us know how you feel. Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter, and please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.